This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 7th year. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey everybody, this is the Ramble. I'm Alex Bennett. We go until midnight tonight. And here I am after about, let's see. First we took a week off because I was sick. Wait a minute, hold on a second. I have to go. I didn't close the door. And if I don't close the door, and Marjorie comes in here and yells at me, "You woke me up." Anyway, I was off for a week, and then I was off for another week, and then I was off for another 2 days, and here I am, okay? So we'll get into all of that, and why, and how, and all the stuff that went on. Let me bring in, let me see here. Let me admit Phil here. And let me see here. Then I push the button here. Wait a minute. Let's see first if he's got a picture. We got a picture, Phil? There we go. There he is. Hello there, Phil.
Hey, we've just fooled everybody. It's Tuesday, isn't it?
No. Actually, next week, I'm going to do another just only 2 days for the week because I've been exhausted. This whole thing has exhausted me. Yeah. And it's very difficult to come in here and do a show when you're kind of like, See, here it is, folks. This is what's left of it. Actually, Phil saw me the other day because we had a call together. And tell him what I look like.
The one eye that's a little darker was a little more black and blue. Mm-hmm. Considering that you just got done with an operation, I thought you looked fine. And,
really?
The skin's elastic. It's going to take a little bit of time for it to retract.
Yeah. Well, inflammation. Let me turn on the air conditioner here. I don't know why the fan isn't just enough, but it gets very hot in here. Hold on.
There's a lot of inflammation that happens from an operation.
Yeah, well, what happened was, in case people don't know, if I may look
eyes,
huh?
Look at the eyes there.
Yeah, these are very, very expensive eyes now. What happened was I had what was called ptosis. I guess that's how it's pronounced. Ptosis.
Didn't Bill Clinton have that?
Huh?
Didn't Bill Clinton have that?
No. He had an erection. Anyway, ptosis is like your lids. As you get older, they lose elasticity and they come down and they come down and they come down. And what was happening is my lids were down about halfway across my pupils. So that for me to see something, watch TV, I'd have to go like this, right? I wasn't getting like the whole picture. I mean, I'm getting a whole view now. I went to my doctor yesterday and he said, well, we might have to go in and redo this eye.
What?
Well, a little bit, because he doesn't like the symmetry. Now, it looks okay to me.
Give a shit about symmetry?
Well, here's what I'm thinking. He said for $4,000 I could have the bags removed because that's cosmetic, not surgical, and therefore it isn't paid for by Medicare. The eye thing was.
I thought you were going to do that anyway when you had this done.
No, because I'm thinking $4,000. Gee, I don't know. I mean, how much longer am I going to live? And do I mind having these bags under my eyes? It gives me a little character. Huh?
I know how to fix it.
Well, how's that?
Watch.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so the deal was that he for $4,000 he could do this. I decided not to. Now I'm beginning to think, well, maybe I should have. And now that he has to maybe go back in and do this eye a little more, which is covered by Medicare, I could probably get that $4,000 deal to do the bags while he's there.
Now, Medicare is not going to say, well, look, symmetry is not is cosmetic.
No. This is a medical condition.
Yeah.
In which, if it kept progressing, I might find it hard to see.
I see.
Okay, so it needs to be taken care of, and it's covered by Medicare.
Nice.
That's why my doctor wants to go in and do this one a little more again. This one? Yeah, this one. A little more again.
Have you ever tried, what are those things, like Preparation H? You put it underneath your eye?
Who cares? Don't I look more awake now?
Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, a lot of this is going to go away too, because this is still bruising here. You see, that's still bruising. That's still swelling. Once that goes away, probably this will go down about a third or something like that. But
well, I mean, at your age or my age, I've got bags under my eyes.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't look. Why do I need to look good? I'm going to get laid. I can't get an erection, for crying out loud.
Yeah, I understand. This prostate.
That bothers me more than anything else. Okay, is that I'd like to get a good sturdy erection. It would just make me feel good.
Yeah. Well, hey, we both had good runs.
Yeah, they beat up on my prostate really good.
Yeah.
There are a bunch of little seeds in there. I once said to my doctor, my urologist, I said, "You're up there putting your finger up there. Can't you cut yourself on those seeds?" And he says, "No, because I'm only touching through the skin. I'm not touching the actual prostate." And I never knew that.
So well, then the skin.
See my look of astonishment now? I can do a look of astonishment.
You look like Tucker Carlson when he's listening.
Let me tell you about this operation.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, we have a woman who writes me all the time. Her name is Louise Zeitlin. She had the same thing, then sent me pictures of herself right after the operation, and I'm about ready to vomit, going, "Oh, is that what's going to happen to me?" Mm-hmm. And she said, "No, the whole thing's easy. It's easy peasy. It's really simple, They put you out a little bit, and then they do the eyes." I go, "Okay, well, that's fine. It sounds good." Well, now I get to the hospital, begin with at 6:30 in the morning, for an 8:30 operation.
Yeah.
Nothing like having somebody operate on you at 8:30 in the morning. But anyway, I did it at 8:30 in the morning. I get there. I'm in the waiting room at Mount Sinai's Eye and Ear Infirmary, it's called. It's been there for years.
No nose, no throat.
Yeah, ear, nose, and throat, I think. Maybe it's something like that. Anyway, eye and... Well, anyway.
Yeah.
It's the
special eye and lid.
Eye and whatever. Anyway, so I go there, and 6:30 in the morning, and they say, "Oh, well, sit in the waiting room, please." Well, why didn't you tell me to get here at 7:00? What to sit in the? But I sat there in the waiting room, and now, mind you, this is Mount Sinai Hospital, right? Yeah. There are bugs crawling all over me. Little flies all over me. They're in the waiting room.
Well, maybe they were there for an operation.
Well, yeah, I was going to make the same joke myself, but then I decided not to. But that's not funny. That doesn't give you much confidence in a hospital, right? So then they put you through all the same things they did when they did my prostate. They asked me the same questions here. Now, it's the same hospital system. It's Mount Sinai. You would think that one part of Mount Sinai talks to another part of Mount Sinai, and they say, "Well, you don't have to answer these questions. We've already had them answered. Any changes in them?"
Yeah. No, it doesn't work that way. It's anytime you fill something out, even a credit application, they ask you the same thing 14 different times.
Yeah.
Write in your address. What is your shipping address? And then the next page, they want the same information.
Right. So, anyway, I go in there, and finally they soup me up. It's a whole process they do that takes forever. Now they give you the outfit with the little socks and the thing, you know, and then you got the, and here, put this on, but don't tie it in the back. Okay, fine, don't tie it in the back. Then put this over it, which is an over thing, like a bathrobe. And I went, you know, why do they have that? Why don't they just tie me up in the back and march me into the operating room?
They did that to me every morning that I was going in for the radiation. I had to do the same thing.
But you know what I had at radiation? I don't know if they had it where you were, but when I went in for the radiation, they had everything ready for me. They had a place to say, you go here, you get this, you get that, you put this on, you put that on. Here's your locker, and
egg.
Yeah, and I did this every other day for like a week and a half.
Yeah.
Okay, you had
every day, Monday through Friday for 7 weeks.
Yeah, I only had to do, this was like the cyberknife thing, where it's faster. Anyway, forget about that. That's not what this is all about. So I'm sitting there, now I got to wait somewhere else for the operation. It's like I'm waiting to be executed, right?
Well, make sure that you're there. I mean, they got a whole cadre of people that are going to be participating in this, and if you don't show up or you're late.
Well, my doctor finally comes over to me, shows up, and he says, "Hi." He says, "How you doing?" I said, "I'm a little anticipatory of this thing. I'm a little, it's not like, it's funny with the seeds. I didn't have as much angst over it. I don't know why, but with the seeds, they weren't cutting into me.
Yeah, maybe you knew more about the seeds. You've done a lot of research, didn't you?
Yeah, but anyway, so my doctor says, "Oh, we'll do this, and then we're going to put you on light sedation." I said, "Why not heavy sedation?" He says, "I need you awake so you can move your eyes for me." And I'm thinking, he's going to inject my eyeballs with a dulling substance. Not my eyeballs, but my lids. Yeah. And then he's going to cut into there, and all along, I'm on light sedation.
Well, did you feel anything?
Yes.
Well, it wasn't.
I felt everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
And so wait a minute. So so I go in there and they put me in a light sedation. And I'm thinking, the great thing about going to the hospital and being sedated is you get high. But she's not pumping enough stuff in me to even make my toes quiver. I mean, it's just terrible. So that was it, And I was he started working on me, and of course I'm dulled up there, so now I'm not going to feel it. But there's a little pushing and prodding, and he's sewing me up and doing things like that. Then he's got to do the lower lids. He says, "We can give you higher sedation for the lower lids because I don't need your cooperation." I went, "Great, sock it to me." Didn't feel a thing.
Yeah.
I'm not in a la land. I'm not going, I'm really feeling cool about this,
Do you know what they gave you?
Just a sedative of some sort,
Yeah.
Nothing, not propofol or anything like that. They didn't put me, I didn't go out and then suddenly wake up and he says, "Well, it's all done," like I'm used to doing with a colonoscopy, for instance. Hell, they shove a tube up your ass and they're nicer about it. Anyway, so and then at one point I'm going, "Is it okay?" He said, "Shut up, I'm working."
Well, that's good bedside manner.
Yeah, it's a great bedside manner. So he does me, and we're through with it, and he says, I don't even see him afterwards. He just leaves. I don't know. I guess he gets his bag of money and goes,
It's like the girl you leave in the morning and she's still sleeping.
So I go to see him yesterday.
Yeah.
And he looks at it and he says, "Well, one may have to do one eye again a little bit to bring it up a little more because you were very difficult as a patient." And I went, "How's that?" He said, "Well, you were squirming a lot." I said, I had hardly any sedation in me. Yeah. I'm sorry. He says, "Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, you were a 7." You know,
Well,
what am I? Are
look,
you rating me like you rate women you fuck? You
yeah.
know?
Well, don't they have something that holds your head
No,
in
no,
a
no.
position so you can't move
No,
it?
they didn't. Now that you mention it, no, they didn't.
You would think that they
You
would.
would think they would, yeah. But, you know, I mean, and Margie went, oh, well, you're such a baby. I was under light sedation, and they were, what they were doing to me was just sticking a needle into my eyelids and cutting into my eyelids and doing all of this without the benefit of heavy sedation. You've got to expect that I'm going to be, a little off maybe.
I have a friend and that comes into the store, and he's telling me that he's having some issues with his eyes, and the treatment for it is that they actually inject something into the eyeball. And I don't think I know. I don't think the eyeball actually feels
Oh
anything.
no! Your eyeball does feel it, but what they do, it's what they did. It's when they do. Have you had
No, I
cataract
mean
surgery?
the
Cataract.
yeah,
Cataract.
not yet. They're not ripe enough.
Yeah. Well, what happens is they cut into your eyeball there. In fact, they cut into there and they remove the lens. All right. And I've had it done. You don't feel a thing because what they do is they numb the eyeball with just like a liquid they pour in there, and the drops maybe sting for a minute or so, and then you're fine. You know, you're really cool. And he won't feel a thing. He won't. He just won't.
I'm not going for cataract surgery anytime soon. I just got a new pair of glasses.
Well, you know, ever since I got cataract surgery, I didn't have to wear glasses that much.
I know they say they'll give you 20/20 vision.
No, it doesn't necessarily. That's not the reason for it.
Did you get monovision,
No,
where the one's close and one's distance?
no.
I could never adapt to that.
That was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm getting some little problems tonight with the picture, but fuck it. Yeah, I don't care. I don't
Right.
care
As long as you don't rub your eyes.
You want me to tell you another story?
Yeah. Tell me a story.
This is
Daddy.
another one. So I'm looking at my watch the other day, my Apple Watch,
Yeah.
and I notice when you go to it and bring it up like this, you see. Wait a minute. Let me see here if you can see it. You see
Yeah.
that? You see that white
Yeah.
thing? Well, that's your cellular signal, and it wasn't lit up, and it wouldn't light up, and so I got to call AT&T.
Yeah.
Now I got to tell you, I just found this out. There are two things I found out about AT&T that are horrible. Number one, Consumer Reports, out of 5 cellular services, rates AT&T as number 5 in customer satisfaction.
You mean below the ones that are out of business?
Below the ones that are below Sprint, right? Anyway, number 1, by the way, is T-Mobile for customer satisfaction. Yeah, but this whole thing, you go, well, what the fuck is happening here? You know. So anyway. So what?
Did they slow down your signal? You know, there was just an update, and my iPhone 10 is so slow now because I guess it's 3G when they're using.
But here's my new phone. This is my 13
Yeah.
Mac Apple Pro. But anyway, here's the deal. So I call them up. This is at night, and I'm put on hold. Okay.
Yeah.
And I put on hold. And I put on hold. And I put on hold.
Nobody there?
And I put on hold. And I put on hold. And I can't remember what happened the first time. The first time, they finally got them after about 30 minutes. And I told them what the problem was. I said, I can't get it. And they said, well, let me see. They always say this. Turn your phone on and off. Turn your watch on and off. All right? And I go, okay, fine, yeah, sure.
You had to call back.
What? No,
You had to call back.
They can't figure out what to do. I'm trying to remember what happened on that first call that night, but I didn't get any satisfaction. Let me put it this way: my watch by the end of the call was still not working.
Yeah.
Okay, and I decide I'll call back tomorrow. All right, this.
Did they ask you if you plugged it in?
Oh, no, I mean, I turn this on and off, and I know all that. It wasn't working. Are you updated on all your phones and your watch? Yes, I am. All right. They're all reading off a page in a book.
Yeah.
Right? They don't know. It used to be when you called technical support, you got a technician.
Yeah.
You got somebody who knew what the fuck they were talking about, and they were such whiz-bang guys, they just made you feel like shit, because you didn't know as much as they did. Okay?
Yeah. Well, at least they didn't say RTFM.
Yeah, yeah. Now, let me so anyway, so I get no satisfaction at all out of this. So I can't go to sleep that night. It's just getting to me. I'm going, I'll call them back in the morning. So I call them back in the morning. And they say, now this is great service for you, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to love this. You call them, and they say, it says on the thing, what do you want? And you say, well, I got troubles with my Apple Watch. Well, if you say that, they send you over to this company they've hired to handle this sort of thing, who don't know what they're doing at all.
Why don't you call Apple Care if you're having a problem with your Apple Watch?
Oh, well, Apple actually, at one point in all of this, AT&T called Apple, and Apple said, we don't know what's going on.
Well, if you have an Apple Watch and it's not doing what it's supposed to do,
they'll blame it on AT&T.
Oh, no,
but this is an AT&T issue.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, because I've had very good luck.
Okay, well, anyway, let me go on with this story. I'm trying to. I'm so. Don't worry, we got lots of time here because nobody's calling. Okay, they've given up on me entirely. All right.
Well, they know you're going to be on tonight.
I put it everywhere that I was going to be.
Okay.
So I mean, what the hell? But anyway,
and they didn't know I was going to be here.
Where was it? Where was I?
Oh, you were talking about your Apple Watch.
Anyway, I can't remember what happened this first night, but I got no satisfaction at all. So the next morning, I decided to call. And what you do is you don't say I have a problem with my Apple Watch, because you don't want them to send you over to that other company, okay? Because then it takes forever to talk to somebody. What you want to say is, let me talk to a representative. And they say, about what? The machine says. And then you go, let me talk to a representative. Say that the second time, and they will then put you on hold and put you in a queue. And then they say, sometimes they say, okay, and we will call you back.
Right.
Okay, in 15 minutes. All right, so I say, call me back in 15 minutes. They call me back in 15 minutes. And what I get on the line is a human being who I can't understand a word they're saying. All right?
They do that on purpose.
Yeah, I can't understand a word the person is saying.
Yeah.
And it's driving me crazy. And I said, do you have a supervisor I can talk to? And they, what do you want? What do you want? A supervisor to talk to. What? A supervisor? What? We didn't have that.
Riboflavin.
I don't mind being in a country where English isn't the primary language. Just let me know what language it's going to be, and I'll learn it. Okay?
It'll take that long on hold.
I don't care. Anyway, finally, I can't take it. I just hang up. So I call back again, and again I tell them I want to talk to a representative twice. And they put me on hold, and then the thing says, we'll call you back in another 15 minutes. And I hang up, and I wait. And they call me back in 15 minutes. Okay? And this time I can understand the person. And I tell them what the problem is. And they say to me, well, wait a minute, you better talk to a technical person. We'll call you back. I can't remember exactly, it's such a blur now as to what was going on. But at some point, I started talking to this woman who said, "I'm a technology expert, and I will help you with your problem. We can solve it." They always say that we can solve it.
Well, a positive thought.
4 hours later,
Alex, I wear an analog watch.
Wait a minute, let me finish. Fuck you. 4 hours later. 4 hours later. It's funny, I'm forgetting all the things and the way they went down. But 4 hours, I know this. 4 hours later, where I'm absolutely exhausted, turning the phone on and off, resetting the phone, doing all the things to do, and the thing still doesn't work. And she says to me, "Well, I don't know what the problem is, but the new phone's coming out in a few days. Why don't you get that one?" And I'm going, "This is your way of solving a problem?" She said, "You could go to the AT&T store." I said, "No, I can't. All they do is sell phones. They don't know how to fix them."
They do have somebody there that has a modicum of knowledge.
Anyway. So I leave with my phones. My Apple Watch is still broken.
Yeah.
So now I'm deciding. Now I fuck up the next day. I go online and they have a thing called NumSync, which, don't ask me what number sync is, but whatever it is, it syncs one thing to another. And I dislodged it from my phone. I took it off my phone online, and now I want to get it back on. So now I call this woman. I call the number. And it's amazing. It's amazing. As soon as I say representative twice, the phone rings and a woman picks up.
Huh.
And I can actually understand what she's saying. And she says, "Of course, we can fix this problem for you." I said, "Well, I want the number sync re-put on my thing." Another hour later, she's still tapping around, getting this thing going, and then has me reset my phone again. My watch again, rather. Well, every time you reset the watch, it takes like an hour to reset. It has to put all the stuff back in and so on and so forth. And then you go, "This is ridiculous," And so then she's telling me, "Do this, do that, do this, do that." And I can't make it work. She says, "Well, listen, I'm going to talk to my supervisor, and can I call you back?" And I said, "Well, I have something I have to do. I had to do Steve Kravitz." And I said, "Well, call me back in a half hour." Half hour comes and goes.
No call.
Right? This is after I went with her for about 2 hours trying to fix the phone.
They called Steve Kravitz.
Never called. Now I go to the doctor at 3:00 in the afternoon. She's supposed to call me back at 1:30. Right? At 3:00 in the afternoon, I'm coming home in the cab, and the phone rings. And it's her. "This is your call back." I said, "You were supposed to call me back 2 hours ago." She says, I said, "It's not." She says, "Well, I want you to turn your phone on and off or do this." And I said, "I'm in a cab right now. Can you call me in 15 minutes? I'll be home." She says, "Okay, I'll call you in 15 minutes with my supervisor, my technology supervisor, who will be able to solve this problem."
Absolutely.
What do you think happened?
You didn't get a call back.
I'm still waiting for her to call. Now,
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something. This is the part that's really going to get to everybody who's listening right now. And none of you are calling, so I assume that we don't have to take callers tonight, and Phil and I can just do this for the rest of the show.
Yeah.
She, you're going to love this, Phil. Hold on to your pants. So I decide, I'm so obsessed by the fact I can't get this phone going. Is it something wrong with my system or whatever? So I go to the AT&T site, and I've gone over it before, and I went install NumSync, and it didn't work, and it didn't do that, number sync, and whatever. And then I look right down, and it says install eSIM. It's just a little button on the page that says install eSIM. So I figured, what the hell? Nothing else has worked. I click on it. Next thing I know, my watch is working.
And they didn't know that.
They didn't know that. And that's all they had to know. All they had to do was say, "Well, look, go to your AT&T site. Okay, now click on your watch. Yeah, now click on extras and things like that," or whatever the thing was. Okay, see where it has a whole bunch of options? Click on the one that says install eSync. Oh, okay, click. 5 minutes, I would have been out of there and it would have been fixed, but they didn't know what they were doing.
This is the way you recuperate after an operation?
That's right. Hey, everybody, you can start calling if you want to. We can add calls to this now, but if nobody calls tonight, I'm not doing a show tomorrow night. Forget it.
Well, it's only 5 minutes into the caller. There's 41 people on the thing. I don't see.
Well, there are 41 people. It's like they're really interested in me having problems. Anyway, I'm telling you, folks, they don't know nothing at AT&T about their own system.
Wait a minute, Alex. This Forbin Colossus said there was no audio at 37 minutes after the hour.
No audio on what?
I don't know. That's all he said. He had in this chat.
There's no audio.
That was it.
There's audio going out.
That would have been 7 minutes into the show.
7 minutes into the show.
And that's the only posting that I see.
7 minutes into the show. It's weird because I know we're going out there. Let me just see if there is audio. Hold on a second.
In the chat.
I'm going to go here, and
remember that was 7 minutes in.
Yeah, it was 7 minutes in. Let me see. Unmute site. Okay.
It's into the show.
No, that's it. We have 7 audio. Minutes into the show. Yeah, we have audio.
That's the only posting that I see.
Okay, we have audio. All right. So, yeah.
Something else. So there's people out there. There's 39. There was 41 a second ago.
Yeah. 37.
I don't know why they're not calling.
Yeah. But anyway, so what I'm saying is, you got AT&T. Let me just add Alan to this mix here. Hold on a second. We have, and I'll get rid of the Phil Meyer text here. All right, there we go. All right.
I've heard it since you started.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so this Colossus fellow is, yeah, and somebody else writes audio is fine.
Yeah, audio is fine. Okay,
it's fine.
Anyway, so I mean, what happens is here you've got a company that should be having people who are doing customer service, especially this kind of thing, who know what they're doing. All I know she was doing was looking at a fucking manual, and she was like somebody they turned me to as a technology expert.
Yeah.
And
everybody's an expert, even Alan.
Yeah.
Phil's an expert on older wines.
Yeah, but this the point I'm making here is that is that any way to run a company?
No.
I mean, that's ridiculous. And I finally when I solved the problem, if they had known what they were doing, they would have said, "Hey, you just go to the AT&T site. Okay, now go over to here and go over to there. Click on that. You're good to go. Does it just go on? Yes, the cellular just went on. Thank you very much. I'm out of here." Instead, they wasted, ready for this, a total of 7 hours of my time.
Yeah.
And I'm not that young. Every minute matters to me.
Yeah, right now, yeah.
Yeah.
Who needs this kind of stress? That's why I don't want. I have one of those watches, the Apple Watch. I have the first generation, I think, and I don't use it. I haven't worn it since I bought it because I'd rather wear my analog watch. And
well, I'm buying the new one tomorrow. No, I love this thing because when I take a walk, I get to put up on the workout thing. It tells me how far I've walked and where I've walked, and it lets me know how many calories I've done, and I can call people with it if I don't have my iPhone with me. It's not dependent on the iPhone.
You're talking about AT&T or Apple?
We're talking about the Apple Watch right now.
Right. But I was lost if you were talking about AT&T.
Well, we were talking about AT&T. I mean, it's just
having lousy
just
service.
A horrible company. Just a horrible company. And then I find out, but you won't mind this, Phil. They are the prime financiers of OAN.
Really?
Yes.
in the news the other day.
Yeah.
Fake news.
No, it's not. No, it's not fake news.
Everything's fake news.
I mean, OAN is the prime financing arm of OAN. They're responsible for 90% of their advertising.
Wow. Well, My Pillow is responsible for most of the Fox.
The other 10% of OAN advertising.
Fox's commercials have sort of gone downhill a little bit. You got My Pillow, you got Tatiana, who's trying to get you a loan on your house if you're a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
And the car warranty company.
Those if you take these 6 capsules a day of vegetables, you'll be young again and your memory will come back.
I'll tell you something about Fox. Okay, Jimmy Kimmel showed this last night. It's hilarious. They have been the main people against wearing masks and against vaccinations as a broadcasting organization. He showed them opening up a new facility or something in Washington where they're cutting the ribbon, and every staff member has a mask on.
Hypocrites, like the whole Republican Party.
Yeah.
I don't know that they're the main outlet that is anti-mask.
Well, according to Media Matters, which is not one of my favorite organizations, they did a poll to see how much time was spent by Fox in anti-vax and anti-masking rhetoric, and it was pretty extensive. It was pretty amazing.
Newsmax is more pro-mask than Fox News, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you watch? Do you watch?
Newsmax makes Fox News look liberal.
You have to pay for Newsmax? Or
No.
You do.
What's the one you have to pay for from Fox? Fox Nation or
Fox
something.
Nation. Well, that's their little Fox News Plus kind of thing.
Well, I haven't done that either.
Yeah. By the way, anybody else gonna call tonight? I mean, what do I have to do? Drop dead in order to get listeners? What? I go away for a week and 2.5 weeks. One part of it because of illness, and the other because I didn't want you to see how hideous I look. I wish I had a picture here of how bad I looked the other day, but Phil could describe it because it
was your one eye was much more black and blue than the other.
I like the picture of the 2 water-filled condoms on your eyes.
Oh, what they did? No, that was. I thought that was ingenious. I forgot to mention that to my doctor yesterday. Yeah. If you look at it, I put it up on my Facebook page before Facebook disappeared, and it was a. They have to put ice over your eyes, right after it. They want to keep the swelling down. In fact, I had to keep wearing ice packs for 3 days straight. Okay, one on, one off, one on, one off, one on, one off, all the time I was awake. It sounds like it's a boring prospect, but after a while you kind of get used to it. Anyway, but they put this ice pack on my face, and what it was two like blue balloons, and they were filled with ice. And after you look at the picture, you suddenly begin to realize what it was. They took 2 surgical gloves.
Wow.
Right.
Tied the fingers together, filled them with ice, tied them up, then put them on here and over my eyes. I thought that was ingenious. I mean, there must be some kind of thing where they have something they'll charge a hospital $40 a piece for that will do this, but they figured out just a cheap way to get the surgical gloves. Do that,
Charge the $40 for the gloves.
And I look like the Invisible Man in the picture.
Now, everybody on that thread was, "Oh, Alex, get better. Oh, we're pulling for you," and so forth. Did you see what I wrote?
No.
It said, "Take me to your leader. I come in peace."
Oh, yes, I saw that. Yeah. Well, I said I was the new Invisible Man because I kind of look like Claude Rains in the Invisible Man. Why is this thing stalling every now and then? I don't know. I give up. I don't care.
Maybe it's got AT&T.
I don't care. But if we don't get more callers tonight, I think I'll take tomorrow night off too. Why not?
Yeah.
Nobody expects me to be on.
Nobody's on Facebook. No Charlie. No Brian.
What do you mean?
Mike Allen is. We can invite him.
No, please.
I'm kidding.
That
Please. But anyway, so what's gotten to me lately is the fact that personal services and customer service has gotten so bad that it gets to the point where when something goes wrong, like my phone goes bad or my watch goes bad or whatever, I just go into a panic because I know I have to like call AT&T and I know how terrible they are. I just don't want to ever have to talk to them. I'll just send them the money every month and shut the fuck up, you know?
They're fucking with me on the iPhone because I refuse to spend $1,300 on a new iPhone. This thing was $1,300, and
which one did you get?
I have the iPhone 10, and I got the original one.
The iPhone 10. Yeah, well, now they're cheaper. They're much cheaper than that.
Well,
Yeah.
but I said to myself, I'm just going to using this one. What's wrong with it? The camera.
You can get a 13 for 700.
I don't want a 13. I just want my iPhone 10 to work.
13 cost you $1,000. What it'll cost.
But this is the problem. I think that Apple is slowing down the other phones so that you get frustrated enough and you buy the new one.
I'll tell you, this phone, which is the 13, is really fast. I mean, it's got the 5G in it, which it's almost as fast as my Wi-Fi for sure.
Roll out the 5G network everywhere, or
Yeah,
That works. So on top of that, Phil's phone doesn't even have the 4G plus that a lot of them have. So he's running really slow.
I'm either using my network at the house or I'm using this LTE, and I think
that's 4G LTE.
And every once in a while, I've seen 3G on the phone. When I'm
and also the phone
That's
runs
not good.
faster. I mean, the apps come up faster, everything, because it's a really fast chip in here. Okay, so
how fast do I need it? And do I need it that $1,300 fast?
Of course you do. Spend the money. Stop being so cheap.
Yes, Alan and I have been having this battle. He has a bunch of expensive wine, Bordeaux's, really good wines. So I keep teasing him and saying, can't you afford any newer wines than the ones that you're running around with? Because he has all this old wine. And
we go back and forth. Phil really enjoys and knows the difference between a cheap bottle and a good bottle, and so he likes the best one.
Well, I have some good $2 Chuck. If you want some?
Yeah, well, there you go. I know not to send you anything more than $5.
Yeah. Now, he doesn't drink.
I don't drink.
I had a credit at Houlihan's in Sausalito, so the Alex and Susan and myself and my ex-wife, we went there and we tried to spend the credit, and I'm ordering bottles of champagne and sending them, giving them to the people that work there, and Alex didn't want any of it. He doesn't drink.
Yeah. I've never been much of a drinker.
Yeah.
But
Not missing anything.
Yeah.
If you were, you might have been successful.
He was successful.
I know, I'm teasing.
With this new diet that I'm doing, I don't feel like drinking any alcohol. And between the exercise and the diet, I mean, alcohol has not been anything.
I've never been a drinker. Never been a drinker. And it's been an advantage for me in certain cases.
Designated driver.
No, that's the worst part of it, actually. because I don't like driving in a car with a bunch of drunks in the back seat, you know. So,
You're on the wall.
Huh? Yeah. Boy, my eyes are really,
Yeah.
they're popping out here.
You know who? You ever watch Tucker Carlson when he's listening to somebody and he listens so intently that he stares and his eyes don't move? Have you noticed that?
It's weird. I've seen that, yeah, and I've gone, why doesn't he move a little bit? You know, it's not even in recognition that they're saying anything.
Yeah. Exactly. I gotta figure that he's seen himself on TV and he knows he does that.
Well, that means he's excited.
Poor Tucker Carlson. What a piece of shit for a human being.
Nice guy.
No, actually, you know, I worked with Tucker. Tucker brought me on his show every week, every Friday, for a couple of months, maybe. You know.
So he was a nice guy at one time.
Well, no, I mean he was good to me. You know, I mean I never saw him personally because he was out in New Jersey. They had a studio. He was on MSNBC at the time, and they had a studio out in New Jersey. And I was in a room with a camera pointing at me, a robot camera pointing at me in New York City. And then there was a guy in Florida who I debated with. And it was, so I never met Tucker, but Tucker really supposedly liked the work I was doing, but eventually MSNBC said, we want you to do away with that. Here's what we want you to do with your show, and he didn't have that much control over what he was doing. So,
yeah, well, now he's got
kind of like right now when you listen to him talk,
he's out of control too. Yeah. Where is everybody? I would have thought that people would have gone, oh, hey, Alex is going to be back on tonight.
I would have thought so, too. Charlie's probably...
well, I mean, Charlie is not the only caller. Where's Jeff? Where's...
where's Jeff?
Who are some of the other people? Where's Brian? I mean, I would think that people were going to be happy to welcome me back to the show. But I guess they got used to not putting up with me. But if I don't get just some more people tonight, I'm not going on tomorrow night. Oh well, here comes Matt Duckworth. Who the hell is Matt Duckworth?
Maybe Larkin.
Let me see here. Let's see who Matt Duckworth is. Oh no, there's Matt Duckworth. Hello, Matt. How are you?
Yeah.
Hey, Alex.
How are you? Yeah,
I'm good.
You've called before, right? Yeah.
Yeah, a couple times.
Yeah.
I was getting the guilt trip that I needed to call in.
Oh well, you see, you're here to help, which is really nice.
I'm glad to see you survive the surgery.
Yeah, well, I mean, it wasn't going to kill me. You know, it wasn't like they were going to do something that. Oh, gee, did he survive the surgery?
Yeah.
Yes, we got the boil off his butt. You know.
And now it's living in Walnut Creek on Alma Street.
Yeah. Where's Matt calling from?
I'm in Seattle.
He's in Seattle.
You're the one that moved.
I'm the one that moved. For the last 2 months, I've just been doing
Texas or something like that, and moved to Seattle because you needed.
But
more
apparently, he's moved in because he has his surround sound speakers on the wall.
Yes.
On the wall.
Everything is settled in. Oh, I did that like the first week.
You know what they should do with those surround sound speakers? Somebody should come up with surround sound that doesn't have any wires leading to it, because a lot of people have to put it up on the wall like that.
Wireless. Wow.
Like
No,
that.
I have wireless. I have wireless back speakers in the guest room, but they're not exactly wireless. They're wireless from the front to the back, but when you get to the back, there's this unit, and then it has two wires going out to the speakers. So it's
Right,
not
that's what mine are too.
Yeah, so it's not exactly wireless, right? You know.
A brand called
Correct.
Sonus.
Just means you don't have to have a wire going across the living room to the TV.
Right. What did you say, Phil? Personas?
No, not Personas. Sonus. I think I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. They're wireless speakers, and they're supposed to be pretty.
But when they say wireless speakers, it's not like they're wireless. They're only wireless back to a unit in the back that then goes out by wires to the speakers. So, you know. Here comes Charlene Martinez joining the party. But so did you get you got all moved in and everything, and you got all the furniture set up, and you?
Yeah, the house is more of a fixer-upper than I realized, and so that's 2 months now, almost 3 months. It's just been nonstop. So I'm just finally settling in.
Did you buy a house there? Is that what it is?
But I bought it I bought it through the eyes of an iPhone. Just I didn't see it in person.
So when you finally got there and saw what you did buy, were you disappointed or were you happy?
I was happy. It's just it looked bigger online.
It always does.
Yeah.
Well, we got those no wide-angle lenses on the iPhones now, and you just put on the wide-angle lens and everything looks bigger,
Yeah. Well, then I got everything settled, and then I decided that I've got the popcorn ceilings, those, that stuff where it's actually asbestos, or it can be.
Yeah.
And so I hired somebody to do it, and just the upstairs, just take it half at a time. And I was having carpet put in too. So I had to have the ceiling done before the carpet, and it came down to the very last 3 days. I hired a guy to do it. He got halfway through it and bailed on me.
Wow.
So I had to finish it myself in a day and a half. So
you just, if it hasn't been sealed, you just wet it and scrape it off the ceiling.
Right. Luckily, he got the popcorn off, but he didn't do the painting. So I had to do the painting part.
So the original name was acoustic ceiling. It was supposed to absorb noise. And so,
is that it?
Did you not like the look of it, or you just wanted to get rid of it?
It's pretty ugly. And plus, I had to have it tested. Yeah. It cost me $60 to test it for asbestos.
Yeah.
Because if it's asbestos, it can be, if you disturb it, it can be very, very toxic. In fact, the kit that you order to test it, they give you a whole getup. You get a mask, the whole thing. Your whole body is covered, and you send it in, and they send it back to you.
That's how they have me. That's what they did to make me wear when I went in to have my surgery.
Right. Right. So I didn't. My whole house has all the bedrooms in the hallway have the popcorn ceiling, and I took the cheap way out of it because I don't look at the ceiling very often. I just had it sealed, and to seal it, they just use latex paint and spray it on.
Okay, let's not get boring here. Let's not get boring here.
Well, we could go back to your Apple Watch.
Well, that story I think is interesting because it's amazing that here a company we used to call, remember when we call her Ma Bell?
Yeah.
AT&T, right? You knew that you called up Ma Bell, you told me you had a problem, they told you, we'll fix it here. In those days, all they had to do was like flip a switch,
in the days when you had Western Union phones, or Western, what were they called?
Western Electric.
Western Electric. Nothing ever happened to those phones. You could hit them with a hammer.
Well, what I was going to do is I want to do an ad for AT&T at the time and Western Electric, and the line the ad would have gone, remember that time you got mad at your wife and you pulled the phone out of the wall and threw it against the wall and it chipped a little bit?
No.
Do you remember that?
I heard.
Do you remember how you then took the phone and you just screwed it back into the thing and the phone was working again? We're AT&T. We always work. What you could do, you would use the phone for your anger. You would rip the phone out of the wall because you knew you could screw it right back in, and you could throw it across the room and it wouldn't break. It was in fact, what you were going to do is put a hole in the wall.
Yeah, if you hit it with a hammer, you broke the hammer.
I mean, I could take these phones I got now that you buy at Best Buy, and I could just break them in half.
You ever see these TV shows where the guy has a burner phone, makes a call, and then breaks it?
Yeah.
Well, the same thing. They're made to be disposable.
No, wait a minute. Where do they get those? Where do they get those phones? Are those the ones those are the Cricket phones?
Yes.
Weren't those the ones that Better Call Saul was selling?
I think it was, yeah.
Cricket wireless straight talk.
Well, a burner phone is simply a phone that you dispose of after you've done your illegal thing with it.
That's right.
Hello, Charlene. How are you?
Hi.
Yeah.
I called to support your operation. and tell you that you look good, and I'm glad you're back on.
Well,
because I missed.
yeah,
weeks.
but nobody else misses me. None of the regulars miss me. You know, I have to rely on Mr. Duckworth and you to pull me through, and Alan, of course, and Phil.
Top liver here.
Huh?
Top liver, yeah.
For all you
It probably
people, for all you people that for years have complained about Phil, just remember he's the one that called tonight. For all of you who complain about Alan, he's the one who called tonight. Okay. So shut.
You had mentioned that in days before that maybe I dominated the show, and you got mad at me because you said, well, other people aren't going to be calling if you dominate the show. So I stopped calling, and nobody called.
Exactly.
So you got to call every night again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but who are some of the other regulars that usually call? We got Jeff and who else?
Doctor, what do you call him? Dr. Evil? Dr. Doom?
Dr. Death.
Charlie,
Charlie, of course.
what Vernon,
Vernon. Where's
Larkin.
Mary, what's his
where's
first name?
Brian? Where's John
Brian.
Larkin? Where's
they all probably have jobs.
Yeah, the traffic has gotten extremely heavy lately. I was stuck in a traffic jam. In the morning, I see traffic jams. People are now driving. It's not like the COVID days when you could go anywhere. And
it was wonderful, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
It really was. I've had to use a lift to take me back and forth to various doctors and things like that in the last couple of days, and the traffic is a bear.
Yeah, you're in the Bay Area too.
Yeah, I can't believe how much traffic is out there. It's like it's worse than pre-COVID days.
Now, by the way, I want to congratulate California. Do you know California now has the lowest infection rate in the country?
Yes.
Yeah.
Positivity rate is the lowest.
Why do you think that is? Newsom had something to do with that?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yep. Masks, and they're mandating. A lot of school districts and a lot of cities are mandating masks, unlike Florida.
Yeah.
Where are your papers? Where are your papers?
You know, a lot of people are getting complacent about Delta in like places like California and the East Coast. But there's a theory that Delta moves around. It's done with the South, and now it's in the Pacific Northwest, and they're thinking that it might come to the eastern seaboard for a while. So I know that there's a lot of people are vaccinated there, but there's a lot of people that aren't too. So
right.
We'll see.
Right.
We'll see if it burns out or if it continues.
I got vaccinated, and I got vaccinated because I wanted to be safe, but I don't feel that you should make other people do things that they don't want to do. And now having a second-class society, you can't come into this restaurant, you can't come into this theater unless you show your vaccination papers.
I don't see anything wrong with that, Phil, and I'll tell you why.
Then why wouldn't you show a voter ID?
Well, why
Because
won't
you had to do it.
What do the two have to do with each other? One is a public
One
health
won't kill you.
issue. Yeah, one will kill you, and the other won't.
But this is like Nazi Germany. People.
No, Phil, come on. It's not like Nazi Germany. Here's the thing. What we're doing is we're trying to keep people alive. We're trying to end this thing once and for all. And the only way we can do it is to make sure people are vaccinated. And these people who really kind of mind being vaccinated, and say, oh, I have the right not to be vaccinated. They can't let their kids go to school without being vaccinated for measles and a bunch of other things. I mean, and they, as they were kids, probably had to grow up getting vaccinated.
Bill is just towing the company line.
No, I'm not towing the company line.
Yes, you are. Yes,
what's
you are.
happening in this country. I don't like
Phil, you know why it's happening? Because people are so selfish in this country, they won't do it voluntarily.
That's right.
the vaccine has been out for almost a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that the amount of people that have died from COVID is more this year than last year? That
I do you know that more people are of
Wait a minute. What did you say,
conservative
Phil?
that
What did
they're
you say?
dying?
That doesn't sound right.
You're
We need to fact check.
you're not right, Phil.
Yeah, that's
You're not right,
another
because
checking
when we started this year, we had about 600,000 dead, and
now we got 700.
no, excuse me, we had 500,000 dead,
Now we
and
got
we have no, now we've got 6 and change, I believe.
Oh, we got close to 700,
Oh,
but
oh,
it
okay.
doesn't matter.
Then it was 6 that we started out at,
Right.
600,000.
It doesn't matter, Phil. We don't have more than
Last
than-
year we had like 300, 400,000.
Tucker Carlson.
Oh, fuck Tucker Carlson. Don't, please, if you're going to quote people, quote Adolf Hitler first. Come on.
You did.
You know.
Look, don't they fact check this guy? You know, when he puts stuff out on the
You talking about Tucker Carlson?
Obviously not.
Well, he said that
He's a big ivermectin guy.
in the last year, he said that there has been more deaths from COVID than there was in the previous year.
No, he's wrong. He's
you
wrong.
ever
Just
known-
look at
Have
it.
you ever known Fox News to get it right?
That the last year was the first year of COVID. We went from like 300,000, 30,000 cases to like something like 400, 500,000. All
I think
right,
Matt's looking it up.
in one
But-
year. Oh,
I
Matt, look
think
it
Alex
up. Yeah.
is correct, though.
Matt, look it up. Tucker Carlson's absolutely wrong. Don't get your information from Tucker.
I'm thinking it's 500,000.
Where
Right.
last year.
Last year.
I'm thinking that, but let me
Yeah,
check.
I think you're probably right. You got to remember that year really didn't start until March. That's when the big deaths started happening.
Did you see Senator Graham on the news today at a rally? Him telling people to go get vaccinated, and everybody's like, "No," in the crowd.
Senator Graham.
Yeah,
Graham.
yeah. He was in the news today.
Graham?
You know, and he's telling people to get vaccinated.
Wait a minute. Who's Senator Graham? I never heard of Senator Graham.
Graham.
Who?
Lindsey.
Lindsey Graham.
Oh, Lindsey Graham. You said
Yeah.
Graham.
No, Graham. Lindsey Graham. Sorry.
Yeah. We're going to have an answer soon from Matt.
Well, as of right now, we're at 709,000.
Mm-hmm.
So I am the new Dr. Doom.
So yeah, so it's gone up about 200,000 since we started getting people vaccinated.
And it was at like 600. Yes, Jack.
Well, first of all, although I'm not a regular caller, I've been a long-time listener. But in deference to Phil Meyer, that guy DeGrasse Tyson, I can't think of his whole
Neil
name.
deGrasse.
Yeah.
DeGrasse
He
Tyson.
pointed
Neil
out
deGrasse
today.
Tyson.
He pointed out today that Republicans are dying at about a 45% greater rate than us leftists.
Well, maybe I then
I
have
think-
to rethink about the dangers of the COVID.
Well, I think that's a damn good start.
Yeah.
I think that's a damn good start.
Right. That's like you're paraphrasing the old lawyer joke.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
What do you
200
call
lawyers.
What do you call a dead lawyer in the road? A start.
Good start.
Yeah.
A what?
A
A
good
good
start.
start.
Oh,
Scuba divers always say, "What's 200 lawyers in the bottom of the ocean?"
A good start.
Yeah.
They're all Republicans. That's an even better start.
But I mean, the fact is that it was pretty. It's amazing what we've come to in all of this. That we're talking about why people shouldn't get vaccinated. Of course, you should get vaccinated. Do you want to be sick? Do you want to die? And people go, well, I'm really healthy, and there's some very healthy people who are 6 feet under right now from COVID.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I mean, but at what point is the public welfare?
The problem is that it's not a vaccine. This rDNA thing is not a vaccine. A vaccine actually increases your.
And a vaccine gives you the actual disease.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that people would like that either. I think this whole rDNA technology is terrific.
Now, I got the Pfizer, and they said that after 5 months of 2 shots, you're down to 50%. So
who said you're down to 50%?
That's the question to ask. Who said that?
Because they're wrong. They're wrong.
It was on the news.
Yeah, where? What news?
Yeah, the Republican news. That's all he ever listens to.
Believe the news. Phil doesn't believe the news unless it comes from Tucker Carlson.
No, it could have been Epic Times.
It could have been what?
Epic Times.
Epic Times. That's another one.
Yeah, which even makes Newsmax look liberal.
Yeah. I get so many of these things, more of the latest news.
And do you believe
but it's not news?
Do you go to the supermarket and pick up the National Enquirer on your spare time?
Alec likes the National Enquirer.
What?
Alec, I thought you liked the National Enquirer.
No, I used to, I used to read the National Enquirer because it was hilarious.
My mother used to read it, and as soon as she got to the check stand, she put it back.
Well, all I'm saying is, Phil, the bottom line is that we are in a health crisis. We have to save human lives. We have to stop the disease, and to mandate, a vaccine or a shot or whatever you want to call it, is, I think, in the public interest of the American people. And so it's in the best interest of the American people. So there you go.
A lot of people are saying, mainly Republicans, the mRNA vaccines were developed quickly. Well, I got news. All they got to do is look back. Yes, they were developed quickly, but the scientific community has been playing with mRNA vaccines for 20 years and trying to find the right.
This version came out recently. But this is not a technology we haven't had for the last 15, 20 years.
That's what I'm saying.
And it is a proven technology, and it simply has never been applied to something like this in the past to see how effective it would be. The fact is that Pfizer, after what? How much? After 5 or 6 months, is down to something like 80%. It's not, 50%.
But what it is doing, even if the antibodies go to 2%, that's not the whole immune system. There's B cells and T cells, and they can't measure that real easily. And so the only thing they can measure is antibodies, and they admit.
Oh wait, Matt, did you get vaccinated?
Yeah, I got my 3rd dose.
Well, no, I'm talking about Matt.
Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah. Oh, I definitely did. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Have you gotten your 3rd yet, or?
No, it's not. Isn't it? You have to be over 65, don't you?
Over 65 or 50 to 64 with comorbidities, and I have asthma and I'm fat.
Yeah, well, I had Moderna and I got it. They gave me a 3rd with the Moderna.
Yeah.
And then the other day, since I love getting needles shoved in my arms, I went and got my flu shot, my regular flu shot.
And you asked them to give you that in your ass.
Yeah.
So the best number,
like it in your arm.
The best number I can come up with.
I got my flu shot yesterday.
Here's the best number.
The best number I can come up with. It's hard to find the target with that exact parameter, but in the U.S. we reached 500,000 deaths in February of 2021.
Of 2021. So
yeah. So you got to figure we're probably around 300 to 400.
Yeah. Vaccines came out.
300,000 to 400,000, and this year it's more like 200,000.
So we've got up 200,000 in 8 months.
Yeah.
Or 6 months.
Yes, Jack.
I want to ask Phil a question. Phil, do you get an annual flu shot?
Well, I got.
Come on, no, that's yes or no.
Oh, wait a minute. To begin with, don't give Phil a bad time. He did get vaccinated.
I
pushed a little kid out of the way to get it.
I got a phone call. And I got my. I'm going to get my. I got a vaccine, a COVID vaccine, and I was going to walk over to get the flu shot, but I had to leave. So no, I haven't gotten the flu shot this year.
You get an annual flu shot in most years. I'll put it that way. You do.
Yeah.
I went out and I got the vaccine.
That's not where I'm going with. That's not where I'm going with this.
One of the first people to do it.
No, he wasn't. He was talking about the vaccine. He's talking about the flu shot. We forget there is another flu shot. Okay.
And where I'm going with this is, based upon what Phil is saying, we should be pissed about the fact that the flu shot doesn't cover the flu of all types every year. We got to go in and get an annual flu shot. That's like comparing, it to what Phil is saying.
No,
the COVID-19 vaccine.
Jack, nobody is demanding that you get a flu shot.
They should be. They should be. Well, it's a public health.
Hold on a second. Jack, while you're talking, it kind of puts his audio down so he can't say something. So
nobody is denying you access to restaurants and other venues because you didn't get a flu shot.
And they should.
Come on. How come on.
Hey, there are restaurants that say no shoes, no shirt, no service. Should they be forced to let people in with no shoes and no shirt?
Phil, because the people that don't get a flu shot, usually they're the ones, they may pass the flu to somebody else, but usually they're the ones that are going to get the sickest. Yeah. And it isn't like COVID. It's comparing apples to oranges. COVID, if you're sick and you don't get the vaccine and you get sick, you can pass it to somebody else and they can die.
Yes, but so if you had the vaccine and somebody else didn't and had COVID, aren't you supposed to be protected?
Well, wait a minute. There are breakthroughs.
Not totally. It's not
totally.
The vaccine's not 100% effective.
Also, there are people every year in this country and around the world that die from the flu.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Mainly older people, unfortunately, sorry to say.
That's why I get my shot every year.
I do too.
Hey, now you had your flu shot, Alex, and 2 weeks ago you were, really under the weather with the flu or something.
No, I didn't have the flu. I didn't have the flu because if you have a flu, you have a temperature. I didn't have a temperature. I had a terrible cold.
Okay.
And that's what it was, and that was prior to me getting the flu shot.
But here again, the flu shot is not 100% either.
Yeah. But by the way, I will say to everybody there who's afraid of getting the COVID vaccine that I've had both the regular flu shot and the COVID vaccine shot, and the one that hurt the most was the regular flu shot. COVID vaccine, they do it and you go, well, when are you going to do it? And they say we already have.
I would bet that everybody that listens to your show has had a COVID vaccine.
How do you know that?
I think there's a good chance of that.
It's just a guess. I said I would bet. I don't know it for sure.
Certainly, we have two people here from California.
There are smarter people that listen to Alex's show than listen to Fox News.
Let's talk about something else though. Okay. Let's get off of that. I don't watch the news much because I'm on the phone all the time with AT&T. Okay, so I don't have time to watch the news. I have to deal with the people at AT&T, but I do something while I was talking to the woman at AT&T. I decided to put porn on my TV set while I was talking to her, so I could kind of jerk off while I was waiting for my watch to restart. Anyway, so I haven't gotten to watch the news much, but I did see the item tonight that a federal judge in Texas somewhere has said that the abortion law that was signed into law by the governor is what's the term they're saying? It's been made. He put a halt to it, and right now you can have abortions again in Texas, and you're in Texas.
Huh? S-T-A-Y.
A stay.
Who's in Texas?
Jack.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Jackson.
Now, doctors.
You were in Texas, right? No, where were you, Jeff?
Me?
Yeah, where were you, Matt?
I was in Houston and San Antonio.
Yeah. See? Okay.
Yeah.
He's in. He's outside of Dallas somewhere.
Alex. Now, even though they've lifted that stay on abortions, the doctors, if they perform them, they're in violation, and
in violation of what, Phil?
The law that they did. So
no. The law is it. You're wrong. You're wrong, Phil. You're clearly wrong. Yeah. What were we going to say, Jack? You can clarify this.
Whole law is on hold. Now it's going to wind its way through the federal courts.
Isn't there an additional law saying that the doctors can't perform?
It's all part of the same bill that was passed by the Texas legislature in one of our famous Texas special sessions, because Texas is stupid enough, and I've been down here 50 years, Texas is stupid enough to think that lawmakers can make all of their decisions in about 6 months.
Doesn't the government have an obligation to protect the rights of people? And I would imagine the rights of the unborn, if you've got a heartbeat, there's something there.
Phil, the unborn don't have any fucking rights. They can't jump out of that womb and start walking around on their own independently. Are you kidding me? I'm sorry.
I think Phil is proof that abortion.
You know what you do, Phil? It just drives me insane, because I know you and I like you and you're a wonderful person. Okay. I'm happy to call you my friend. But when we get into discussions like this, you simply start pounding out the liturgy of the right. I mean, it's just without thinking about it. Tucker Carlson said there were more deaths this year from COVID than last year, so it must be true.
Now, you as a liberal or as a lefty, pound out the left's ideology. And, one of the reasons that it's nice to have me here is that I am just...
Oh, yeah, it's really pleasant.
Right. In that I tell you how I feel. Now, people base their ideas on feelings. Yeah. They feel this is right or that is right. And that's how they come up with it. Matt's got to...
You ought to read
that. Matt wants to say something. How did
my screen says your hand is raised. I don't know why it's...
I see. When you did that hand raise thing, it changed your position in the group.
Yeah. Everything moved around.
And it put a hand up in the corner.
Put a hand up there.
How about that?
Interesting.
Phil, put a hand up. Do you know where the hand is?
I think I know how to do it.
Maybe it's an because I'm on an iPad. Maybe it's an iPad function.
No.
But it moved.
But all of a sudden, you moved everybody around. Yeah. There we go. And there goes. Yeah, Phil's now where. Wait a minute, Phil. Now you're where I used to be. Hold on a second.
Well, Alex, you got to raise your hand.
This is pissing me off. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Raise his hand. Here I go. Boom.
Everybody's gonna. There's this thing called reaction, and there's other stuff there you can do. You can add all sorts of.
Can't you get rid of it?
I don't know.
What happens if you
do it again?
Lower hand.
Oh, lower hand? Oh, I see. Lower hand, and I'll lower mine.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody lower their hand. Everybody lower their hand. Lower your hand there. There we go. I'm back in the middle again.
Okay, now back to me.
Yes, as you were saying.
What I was going to say with the two topics we've been discussing tonight have a crossover, because the politicians love to say, my body, my choice.
Yeah.
For the vaccine,
yeah,
but not when it comes to abortion.
Right. Well, that's. But what you saying to me that the right wingers are hypocritical? Is that the point you're trying to prove here, Matt? That they're consistent in their beliefs?
Has anybody ever noticed?
My body, my choice is for vaccines.
Well, I've also tried to say that to women any number of times, and I didn't win the argument.
Yes, but when a woman is pregnant with an infant that has a heartbeat, it's not just her body.
Phil, until that little infant can go out of the body and survive, okay, either artificially or whatever, but can survive, he's not ready to vote. Okay? I mean, he's not ready to be part of the human race. He is simply a zygote. Anyway, let Jack say what he's got to say, because I know Jack's got to leave.
I got to go, but look, probably the most consistent group historically on this question has been the Catholic Church. We got any Catholics on the panel tonight? Anybody that grew? All right. Now
really.
Really?
Sorry.
I was going to follow that with the second most consistent group, from a religious standpoint, has been folks that grew up in the Jewish faith. Now, here's what I'm going to lay down to, and correct me if I'm wrong, the Jews that are on the panel. Consistently, the Jewish faith has said that a zygote isn't a person until it's born. Am I correct in that?
I don't think so.
Well, I heard that somewhere, so we'll skip that.
Heartbeat to begin with. Let me just say something quickly. Heartbeat is not a watermark of whether somebody is alive or not. Ask them in hospitals. When you're brain dead, you're brain dead. So if your brain hasn't fully developed, you're not ready. Okay, you're not ripe.
What I was going with was the fact that the Catholic Church does not give last rites to a fetus that is, I'm looking for the term here, somebody help me, my mind is frozen, that does not give last rites to a natural abortion, like a miscarriage. Yeah. And the great thing about the people on the right, they care about a baby until it's born, and
then they don't care.
Then they don't care.
Yeah,
they don't give a damn. Don't want to.
Because these women who have to keep those children rather than abort them, I don't see them going out there and suddenly saying, "Oh, we'll help you support that child."
No,
adoption,
because there's lots of families that want children.
Hey, I fell into that category, me and Donna, when I was 45. And she was, let's see, she 22. Was about 40. And you know, and we told a big adoption center here in the Dallas area, we'll take anything that's walking, talking, or breathing. We wanted an older child. We would take a biracial child. We would take a child with disabilities. And you know what we were told? Because of my diabetes and my age, we were told that I was too old to be a father at 45. I got to go get ready for
you. Yeah, okay. Wow.
And don't forget the governor of Jack's great state is going to root out all the rapists, so we won't have to worry about rapists anymore.
Oh, yeah, he's going to root out the rapists. Right.
He's building a wall.
Yeah, he's building a wall to prevent rapists.
So, you know, Phil has a point on not about abortion, but in California, and I'm sure across the country, if the baby in the woman has a heartbeat and you were to kill the woman and kill the baby, it counts as murdering two people.
Right.
Anyway, hey, listen, there's the theme. Thank you so much for getting me through this, Matt. Thank you so much. Please call again.
Sure.
You're very good.
Charlene, too.
And Charlene, thank you so much. You added to it immensely. Thanks to Phil, of course, for saving my ass, and Alan for saving my ass for about a half hour. And to the rest of you who didn't call, fuck you. I mean, it's what else can I say? I mean, I go away for 2.5 weeks, not because I wasn't ill and in the hospital and looking like my face had been turned into rotten hamburger, but and then I come back and I thought, there'll be a ton of people wanting to say, "Welcome back, Alex."
Yeah, I thought there was going to be dozens of people on here.
Yeah,
anyway,
me too.
Everybody, all you guys, thank you so much, Phil and Alan and Matt and Charlene. And give a big wave goodbye. I'll give a big wave goodbye too at you, and say see you later. Bye. Okay, there they go, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Let me see here. Let me end the Zoom, because that's what kind of causes me to go out of sync. And now you see I'm slowly going to go back into sync. There we are. See? Isn't that amazing? It's all pure magic. Anyway, listen, Jack is next with The Intersection. Call him, okay? I don't want him to be alone either. I know what it's like to be alone now. I'll see you again tomorrow night probably, and hopefully if people are calling, I'll stay around for the full hour, and we'll have to figure out what we're going to do next week, because I'm still feeling a little on the weakish side. But anyway, we'll see you again tomorrow, same time, same station, same place on earth. In the meantime, as always, if you see her, tell her I love her, and please get vaccinated, wear a mask, be a decent citizen. Talk to you later. Bye-bye, everybody.